It's Luke and Naomi.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
All right, happy episode 25.
Whoop, whoop.
Welcome to Luke and Naomi on air, episode 25. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, not good night.
Good weekend, good weekday,
Yeah,
good all of that stuff.
Somebody hold them for the weekend and then watch and then listen on the weekends so that we can get some numbers on the weekends too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, do that.
Spread it all. Tell your friends to listen on weekends.
That's right.
Yeah. All of that. Oh, man. All right. Happy episode 25. We made it to 25 episodes, which is
crazy.
Awesome.
It's crazy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Not much going on again for us this week. It was a nice little kind of boring week. We do have to confirm that Naomi did win our football pool last week.
I did. Whoop, whoop.
Last week.
Picking them Jets. Oh, that did me so well.
I know. And then,
it really did.
Of course, this week.
I don't want to talk about this week. I want to talk about how I won and how great it was to get them dollars, and feel all important and powerful for, I don't want to say 7 days because by the time I got the results. So it was about 5 days. 5 days of bragging rights.
There you go.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and then this week happened.
Yeah, I know.
And that was so painful.
Thankfully, this week wasn't too bad. It's just, coming down off that win is never... That's never a fun, week afterwards. Especially, you're not going to repeat in this that much.
I was hoping so bad that I was going to win 2 weeks in a row.
It does give you that confidence.
I was so confident going in to Sunday. I'm like, man, I did so good last week, and I have a good feeling about this week. Nope. Bills, what the heck did you guys do?
Oh, man. I'm telling you, that elbow was bothering him a little bit.
Yeah, whatever. It's a bunch of crap is what it is because I lost that one. That was painful. What else did I lose? I picked the Saints.
That's right.
I don't know why I did that one. I don't know. I had a good feeling about them. They're going to do it. They'll be good. It'll be fine. No. That one hurt me. And then who else hurt me? Your Cowboys.
Yeah, that would hurt you. You!
Yes.
Hurt you!
Yes.
Yeah, well,
so
that was
this week
ridiculous.
Was awful. I lost a lot of points this week. I feel like, you gotta have that win and everything's so great, and then you gotta come crashing back down to reality. And
For real.
That's exactly what happened.
Now, how much of the end of the Buffalo game do you remember?
I remember it being a mess.
That's a good way to describe it.
The last 2 minutes of that game was just ridiculous.
The end of that game
across the board,
may go down in history as just the most ridiculous thing
both teams
ever.
forgot how to play football.
And that was just so much fun.
I'm supposed to hold on to the ball and not fumble it. Oh, I forgot.
So
my bad.
Naomi's usually on the phone with her folks around that time. We call it the golden hour, the final hour of the 1 o'clock games on Sunday, or 11 o'clock if you're in New Mexico.
Yeah, that's right.
So the final hour of that, my friends and I call it the golden hour. If you watch the Red Zone channel, they call it the bewitching hour. But we call it the golden hour because it was always just so much fun. And
because all the scores change so much.
That's
whatever
why.
team is winning is not winning anymore,
so it was a pretty good golden hour this week, but especially with Buffalo. So, Naomi comes in, towards the end of that and usually looks for...
check the scores
and whatnot, or any big news or anything like that. And we both had Buffalo, and so I was just like, hey, Buffalo just lost.
Yeah.
Except they didn't, because Minnesota just would not win. It was like a battle to see who, I guess I'll take it.
Yeah. At the end, they both just gave up and was like, I don't want to win. No, you win. No, you win. It was awful.
Yeah, the Bills fumble the ball in the end zone, gives Minnesota a touchdown.
Yeah.
After they couldn't, oh my goodness. So Minnesota first couldn't punch it in.
Yeah.
All that.
It was just a mess. And I remember going, oh, Buffalo's winning. Okay, cool. This is fine. And then, oh, no, they're not. And, oh, wait a minute. They've got a chance to win. All right, we got this. Oh, wait a minute. No, we don't. Wait, it might go into overtime. And then it did, and it was just, it was just a mess.
It was a lot of fun to watch, though. And, I was happy either way, because it's fun to watch Buffalo fans cry a little bit. And if Buffalo had won, I would have won those points in our pool, which would have been awesome, especially.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Football sucks. I hate it.
The Cowboys and the round mound of letdown let me down. So,
yeah.
you know.
Let a lot of us down.
Whatever. It's one game.
Football. I hate football. It's awful.
Real teams lose a couple of games a year. None of this undefeated or one loss.
Oh.
Boldness. That's what we tell ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah. Just so you can sleep at night.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is.
But anyway, so I won last week, so that was exciting.
Yeah.
We were hoping that we would get the results while we were recording, but we didn't. I had to wait like an extra day.
Yeah, they came the next day. Which was great because our friend Pat, who does them, he does them all basically by hand. I mean, on a spreadsheet and whatnot. But he was telling me, we got into a conversation about his friends at work, you know, that are in it. And then I have a friend at work who does it too.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, I walk in the next day and everybody's like, hey, how'd I do? Who won? What's the score? And he says, and I just really enjoy it. I sit back and laugh because, you know, I know what your score is. I know who won, but I'm not telling you until I put them out there. And he goes, and sometimes people get to texting me, so I like to make everybody sweat.
That's great.
Which is just, you know.
Yeah.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's what you do when you got that power.
As long as that's as far as the corruption goes with him running.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. He's a good dude. So we also hosted our beer club this week.
That's right. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, always is.
Yeah, so, you know, we end up hosting beer club when we have smaller turnouts because the apartment, it would be awesome to try to fit.
Well, if everybody's showing up for beer club, we're not hosting it.
Yeah.
But we have volunteered blindly, not knowing how many people are going to show up, and had twice where it was a small group, and it was like, okay, this kind of worked out for the better.
Thankfully.
Yeah, because otherwise we're going to get way too loud. There's not enough room in this apartment, and, you know, it just gets a little crazy.
Yeah, so it was fun, and Naomi makes the famous dip that everybody loves with almonds and bacon and cheese and onions.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like any of those things, especially all mixed together?
I always make I don't always, but I usually make like a dip, or, you know, we have some kind of like hors d'oeuvres to have while you're drinking a whole bunch of beer. So you kind of feel less bad about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm getting something in my stomach while drinking 12 different kinds of beers.
And it's absolutely,
them.
It is stout season too, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we also hosted, so it was extra fun.
Of course.
I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might have been a little worse for the wear the next morning, or, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
I may or may not have enjoyed all of those stouts until 1 a.m.
Yeah.
After everybody left. They were pretty good. All right, it is another Monday, and I really, really miss doing random facts. So how about some random facts for whatever day you're listening?
That's right.
Here is your daily, weekly dose.
You were so close.
I'll get it next week.
Yeah, we'll see.
I haven't even written it down either. I should write it down. Then I'll definitely get it.
Yeah.
As long as I put the paper somewhere where we'll find it. Did you know where the largest Dairy Queen in the world is?
I don't. I'm going to guess Texas.
Saudi Arabia.
Way off. Well, everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh, man. I imagine it's on a military base, too. And so that, you know, they got to feed all our guys.
All right.
There you go. Make sure there's enough ice cream for the boys.
Gotta have them blizzards.
Happy Veterans Day to, you know, anybody who serves who may be listening.
That's right.
Veterans Day last Friday, of course. Did you know during the Battle of Bunker Hill in the Revolutionary War, most of the fighting didn't take place on Bunker Hill?
Not surprised.
It happened about 200 yards away on Breed's Hill.
Okay.
I really wanted to say Blueberry Hill. Do you remember the old jokes? There's a bunch of old, like, dirty jokes when you were a kid. It's like the first ones you learned about Blueberry Hill.
No.
Never mind.
Now you have to.
No, I can't.
You can bleep it out later.
No, it'll be fine. Everybody knows the Blueberry Hill jokes. And if you don't, well, then, you know, put it on the Facebook page and we'll do them next week. Yeah,
do that because I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll tease it for next week.
Yeah. Throw that in with arcade games.
Also, you know how I get. I put me right on the spot, and I'll probably bleep up the joke real good, and it won't even make any sense. So give me a minute. I'll rehearse, and then I'll try to come back with some Blueberry Hill jokes next week. Or I bet money that the snowman is just going to fire them all off onto the Facebook page before we get to recording again, too.
He better, because again, if I'm leaving a note for next week because I need to know. So if nobody tells you, then you have to tell me them. because I don't understand. I don't even know what you're talking about. I need those jokes.
All right. We'll do Snowman, Don't Leave Me Hanging, man. He just really seems like that's right up his alley.
Okay.
Snowman, if you're a new listener, was a listener back in New Mexico who still hangs around the podcast, which is awesome.
That's right.
Did you know the IRS requires you to pay taxes on money you get illegally? So if you rob a bank, sell drugs, commit credit card fraud, or anything else, and get caught, you could get audited if you haven't paid taxes on those things.
Interesting.
So if you rob a bank...
I actually believe that I have heard that somewhere.
Really?
That if, like, you rob a bank or you get money in an illegal fashion, that you're supposed to pay taxes on that. Supposed to.
Well, I mean...
Gotta pay them taxes on everything, you know?
If anybody's listening who's thinking about robbing a bank, just stash a little away.
So
in
that
case
you can
get caught.
Yeah.
And then you go, no, I got that. I got that right here.
Yeah.
I held it back.
Oh my goodness.
Because
that's the biggest, concern after you get caught after robbing a bank. Because, wait a minute, I got to pay the taxes on the money because you caught me.
If you're going to plan something, plan the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I guess.
How about that?
Be thorough. Insane.
Right. Did you know a senator named David Rice Atchison? I put an extra N in there. Atchison. David Rice Atchison might have been president for one day around the time of James K. Polk and Zachary Taylor. Polk's term ended at noon on Sunday, March 4th, 1849. Then the next president, Zachary Taylor, refused to be sworn in on a Sunday. So Atchison was the president pro tempore of the Senate, who was next in line of succession. So even though he was never sworn in, and a lot of historians dispute it, technically he was president for a day.
Weird.
Absolutely weird.
Yeah.
Absolutely weird.
I don't even know how I feel about it. I was like, that's kind of interesting, but not enough. Not interesting enough, I guess.
Yeah, a little too random.
Yeah.
Okay, how about...
You gotta have just the right amount of randomness in your, You
gotta find the rando sweet spot.
That's right.
Did you know, finally, a hippo skin can naturally produce sunscreen?
I did know that.
Have you heard that?
Yes, I have.
All right, they secrete a red fluid that works as an antibacterial and a sunscreen, because of the sun in Africa and whatnot.
Yeah.
That is pretty neat.
It is.
Oh, I wish I could just do that. I'm big enough. Come on, red sweat to keep me...
That's weird and gross. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to handle that.
Ever start sweating red and be like, hey, no biggie.
Yeah, I think it's sunscreen. It should protect me.
It's just
it's blood. Who knows? I could be dying right now.
I'm a hippo, that's all.
That's just... Stop.
All right, well, now let's talk about dead people.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's a great transition there. Yeah, awesome.
I know,
okay.
Right? Just plowing right through it.
Yeah.
A couple of people died of note on Friday. The Batman, the number one Batman, Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman for 3 decades and forever. Yeah. Countless video games, movies, animated movies. He did a live-action Batman a couple of years back. And, of course, he's, Batman in the Batman animated series that a lot of people just absolutely love, including myself. So that sucks. Kevin Conroy passed away. I believe it was a short battle with cancer that he had, that he dealt with. But he was awesome. Loved his voice. Really, really wanted to meet that. Selfishly, that's why I was a little bummed out. I was hoping to get to like a Comic-Con and meet him.
You're right. Yeah.
So that's a bummer. And then this is also a bummer, but I giggle as I say it because I'm apparently just insane. Gallagher died on Friday too.
Luckily, you got to meet him, so there you go.
I wouldn't say luckily.
It wasn't bad having him around when we were in Utica.
Literally,
that was it was crazy, but I mean, like,
having him around.
He was eccentric, It's just how he was.
He was very eccentric. So weird. So the story goes, if you don't know, when Naomi and I almost said station. When Naomi and I were living and working in Utica, at a station in Utica, those stations in Utica, one of them, the news station I was on, brought in Gallagher to do like a Toys for Tots style.
Yeah, he was at the fundraiser. Entertainment for that. Yes.
Yeah, so it was a big thing, and a big night out and everybody, so we worked at the stations and pretty much everybody went because it was Gallagher. Hell yeah, it's Gallagher. Does he have the Sledge-O-Matic? Yes, he does.
Yes.
You know, it's Gallagher. We're going to go. We're going to get to meet Gallagher. That's going to be cool. I grew up with, you know, my dad would always put different comedians on. But Gallagher was a special one where he was like, stop playing with the G.I. Joes and watch Gallagher for a minute. He's about to smash some shit, and it's going to be fun.
Not only that, but I mean, his jokes were great.
They really
you know,
were.
even when he wasn't smashing things.
Yeah, he had great material. And I don't know if you ever remember the giant couch trampoline.
I don't.
Oh, he
I'm going to have to look this up because just talking about him makes me miss, like, his shows, his specials.
I imagine those might surface now, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it was a giant couch.
Okay.
And then he got up on it and was kind of moving around and then kicks the cushions off, and it's a big old trampoline.
That's awesome.
He does
this
have to
does
show
sound
like that.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big one that I remember from him was when he got the big, just a giant, like, piece of blank paper out and decided to make the United States out of food.
Yes.
And, like, had the shopping cart full of food, and he had, like, Rocky Road ice cream for the Rocky Mountains, and then made some really bad jokes about the way that
Florida is America's wang?
Yeah,
okay.
The way Florida looks and that it looks, yes, basically just that. Of course, I won't forget that he used the grape jelly for the Grape Lakes.
Nice.
It was so funny and entertaining, and that one always stuck with me. And actually, when he came to Utica, I told him about that. I was like, that was like my favorite bit. And I'm like, I remember watching you as a kid with my parents and everything and seeing that. And he just started yelling about, like, way to make me feel old and all this stuff. And I'm standing there going, I don't even think he's kidding right now. I think he's legit mad at me.
Just, if you remember Gallagher, picture him yelling at poor Naomi in the Gallagher voice.
And I just started at the station. It was like my third day there. Everyone's like, Gallagher's in the building. And I'm all excited. Yes, I know who that is. This is so cool. And it was the first thing I said to him. I took a picture with him and I told him that, and he just started yelling at me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Similar type thing with myself. Well, first of all, I was excited because he had been around.
Yeah.
A few days prior and all of that.
Yeah.
And I was working later shift, so I was coming at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I kept missing him because he would come in for the morning show and then be gone and all of that.
Right.
So when
bouncing around in Utica for a little while.
When I finally did meet him, it was, I think, in the break room, and he was there with one of the other jocks.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, Luke, it's Gallagher. I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? He goes, what do you like in Cleveland, Cincinnati this weekend? And I'm like, not the Browns. And because it turns out he was calling some ESPN affiliate somewhere in the country to do picks from our radio station and stuff. So it was great.
That's funny, making picks to another radio station while you're in a radio station.
Right?
Perfect.
So, his priorities and all of that.
Yeah,
But then it was just a weird goofiness. So, at the actual show, because we got to hang out around him sort of, it wasn't backstage, it was just there.
Yeah.
And so, I did a similar thing. It was like, I remember, and I tried not to tell him how young I was and all that stuff. Because I think that, he had already hollered at Naomi. And I got to talking about the giant couch, and then he did a whole bit where he did like these plays on words, and he would kind of yell about C-O-M-B comb, but T-O-M-B tomb, and I mean, he went on for 10 minutes with the bit, and it was awesome, and he was just like, yeah, okay.
I don't care.
I think he asked if I had a cigarette at the time.
Probably.
Sure.
Yep.
I believe we were smokers then.
Yes, we were. Yeah.
So, then I was like, just give me a cigarette, kid, and shut up. Yes, sir. Gallagher.
Again, he just had a way about him. He really did. Yep.
So, the big thing, he did the show that night. The show was great.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Absolutely slayed. It was awesome. I mean, it was material I didn't know.
No, me either. Made me look at peanut butter in a way that I didn't want to look at peanut butter.
Yeah, a joke that shall never be repeated from me because
no way.
It's just gross. Another cool thing was that I got to bring my father again, who I'd watched with, and so he got to meet Gallagher and stuff. So that was cool. So killed on the show and all of that. And we kind of thought it was over with. What turned out happening is he ended up wanting to stick around or needing to stick around Utica for a little while.
He decided that he didn't want to leave. He was like, I'm going to stick around here.
He went back on the one morning show that had brought him in town.
Yeah.
And asked for people to put him up.
Yeah.
And so a couple of listeners ended up putting him up for a couple of nights, and I don't think they would ever do it again.
No. Some things ended a little rough.
Yeah.
And
I just remember
he ended up being put into a hotel for a little while, and then that had to finally come to an end as well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer. He is such a great comedian. But again, he's got his own way.
Totally went on a bender in Utica.
Yeah, basically.
But before he left it, we got to somewhere around New Year's Eve. It must have been a couple of days before. Or was it on New Year's Eve?
It was the week before, so it was probably a couple days before.
So we were all getting together and trying to think of like a cool little video to put together for New Year's Eve. And we came up with the idea of, hey, if Gallagher's still puttering around somewhere in town, why don't we get him back to the station, have him bring the Sledge-O-Matic, and we'll smash 10 Utica foods as a countdown. And we managed to come up with 10. And so long story short there, I got to use the Sledge-O-Matic.
Which is amazing.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
And I got to, actually smash something that was fun. I smashed a can of beer.
Yeah.
So there's like a big spray. I mean, it was a payoff for me, which was fantastic. So all the shit I talked about Gallagher, I'm very, very happy to have met him and used the damn Sledge-O-Matic that you've seen on TV so many times.
That's right. Yeah, it was awesome. It was really a good time with him around. It was crazy and got a little stressful and a little out of hand.
Not as much for us as for the,
right.
For the guy
Not
who brought him into town.
not for us. Like after the holidays, I just went back to my business. I had no idea what was going on.
So that was Gallagher, and the day we got together and did all the smashing and stuff, he was really, really fun.
Oh my goodness, it was a great time. Yeah.
And our boss at the time, Eric, just totally didn't listen, and
he broke the Sledge-O-Matic.
So Gallagher had said over and over again, don't use it without anything on the table.
Yeah.
And so here
there's
goes Eric.
There's a science behind the Sledge-O-Matic.
Yeah, and he taught us how to use it too. You had to be don't try to go over your shoulder. You have to go straight over your head and straight back down.
Yeah. I want to just watch like some of his videos right now.
And so Eric goes and does this over his head and back down with nothing on the table. What happens? Like you said, he snapped the handle in half.
Oh my gosh, and Gallagher just starts yelling at him.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah.
He just hollered at Eric. That video is out there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
It might even be on the YouTubes too.
I think so. So if you want to see that, you can go look it up because it was
funny. We did post
funny.
the video of like the final, cut, nicely edited video of us doing the countdown smashing. You can see me hit the beer in that video. That's up on Luke and Naomi on Air's Facebook page.
Nice.
So R.I.P. Gallagher. Thanks for the laughs.
Yeah.
It was a bummer to hear too.
It really was.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Not so sad, more hilarious, but something else that might be dying soon is Twitter.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
I know. We were talking about this last show, so I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. Have you been following any of the news on the Twitter?
All I know is Doja Cat put her name as Christmas, but she didn't want it permanent, and it was going to be, so she messaged Elon Musk and was just like, no, I don't want this as my name. And so he was like, okay, you can change it. And then she changed her name to Elon Musk, and that caused a whole bunch of drama. And somehow she ended up with the name Fart. I don't know all the details behind that. That's all I read.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, so this is where Twitter's going.
Now, that story I didn't know. But so basically, I mean, this is all spiraling.
It has nothing to do with Twitter in general. It was just a great interaction that happened on the platform. Hilarious. Yeah.
But that kind of encapsulates what's happening on the platform now. It's just really, really funny because, 6 months ago, Twitter was whatever. It just wasn't what it is now.
No.
And so basically what it has become is a bunch of people who are, as we all knew would happen, paying for the little blue check mark that verifies you, and now running around pretending that they're other people.
Oh my gosh.
It started off before he instituted the payment thing that people just were switching because they got rid of all the blue check marks.
Right.
And so people were just all switching their name to Elon Musk and so then he started banning them and all of that. And he's gotten into a couple of a good back and forth with with almost every level of society at all.
But
like
here's the thing. How could you not think this was going to happen? You know how society is. All you have to do is go on Facebook or Twitter for, a half hour and just scroll mindlessly. And all the things that you will see will tell you how society is. How could you not see this backfiring the way it did?
Right.
I thought he's supposed to be smart.
Well, he's also egotistical, so there's that. But
and you'd think he'd like everyone calling themselves Elon Musk.
You would, right?
Yeah. Hey, everybody wants to be me. This is cool. I'll start numbering you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He definitely bit off more than he can chew. With this whole
for
thing.
sure.
So he gets rid of the blue check marks, and now, basically all hell breaks loose. But then he's like, okay, I'm so smart. Everybody pay $8 to get verified, to where, again, people were paying the money and then calling themselves either, Elon Musk or the things that happen in the sports world. If you're a hockey fan, there was, I think it was Connor McDavid, who's like the best player in the league. There was somebody who made themselves a Connor McDavid account, paid for the blue check mark.
There you go.
Said, hey, I just got traded from Edmonton to the New York Islanders. And people lost it for a minute until they realized, okay, hold on.
Even though it has the blue check mark, this is not the right person.
Yeah, so that also, I want to say, that happened in another sport, and now I've drawn a blank on what the other sport was, but it happened, it was rapid fire.
Yeah.
For like 12 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
Where that was just happening.
Because that's what people do.
So much so, in fact, that he had to shut it down, and now they're, quote unquote, reevaluating, which is...
I mean, I follow enough groups on Facebook where somebody asks a question like, hey, are the jellyfish bad this time of year? To see enough smart-ass answers underneath that like, you just know that this stuff is going to happen.
They're not as bad as the peanut butter fish.
Yeah.
And then worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always some dingus like that who wants to... Anyway.
I'm going to start a whole bunch of rumors, because I can,
Twitter is, social media is a wasteland. We all know that. But this has been pretty entertaining, too.
This is a funny wasteland.
This guy,
it makes you feel a little bit better about it.
He's like trying to herd cats, but thinks that he can do it by outsmarting them and, the collective wisdom of everybody against one dude.
Yeah.
It's just, no, it's good. If one thing, it is bringing a lot of people together, though.
It is, common enemy.
Yes.
That's what brings people together the fastest.
Has created some unity on Twitter. That's for damn sure, because everybody against him.
It makes me want to get back on Twitter just to see this, crap
mess,
show.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is an absolute train wreck, and it is totally fun, and,
Maybe I will get my account back going.
I'll just wait till they shut the site down to lose my account and all of that stuff, because it's hella fun.
Yeah.
And I still get some sports news there. So
there you go.
Whatever.
But now you have to worry about whether it's true or not. It does have the blue check mark.
I know it, right? Oh, gosh. That's one that I'm waiting for. There's, Odell Beckham Jr. is getting ready to come back from his ACL tear, or MCL, whatever, from an injury. And everybody's wondering where he's going to sign. And so before you know it, there's going to be some guy out there buying blue check marks like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Dumping, false information on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so speaking of false information, I did not post the post for our topic for this week.
You're a lazy butt.
I am.
Yeah.
Lazy. Distracted.
I don't think lazy is actually it. I think it's just distraction and, completely forgot.
And some laziness. Let's not.
Oh, there is laziness there. I'm just trying to help you out, man.
I appreciate it. But
I tried.
You started coming up with adjectives, basically. And then I'm like, but no.
No. Doesn't describe you. It's the laziness.
Yeah. They just basically turned into synonyms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like, all I could think of was, anyway.
I completely forgot, honestly. I left this room yesterday, last Monday, opened the door and forgot everything about the show. Forgot everything we talked about. Like, we were sitting down going like, okay, this is what is coming up on today's show. And Luke had mentioned we're going to talk about how you won Grantsco. And I'm like, we didn't talk about that already? Like, I could have sworn we talked about it last week, that I had won and, like, got to brag for a little while and all that. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We mentioned Grantsco, our football competence pool, but we didn't know that I had won already. So when I leave this room, I have no idea. So I completely forgot about our topic and everything.
Sounds like you got to leave the room right now.
I do. So I'm going to forget where we are and everything.
No worries. There's brownies in the oven for me, gang, so she's got to go take them out quick. So
yeah, give me 5.
Time out. All right. Couple minutes for us, not that long. For you, brownies are out of the oven, all good.
Smell amazing.
They do smell amazing. That's all I'm going to be thinking about now for the next however long. I will post this week our topic.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Okay.
What was your favorite arcade game back in the day when you would actually go to an arcade now? If you're a little bit on the younger side of the listeners, I'm sure you still went to an arcade. Remember when the mall had them, or Dave & Buster's or something like that? So what is your favorite arcade game back in the day? Brian has a cool answer, but we're all going to have to wait until next week for that one.
Aw, kind of bummed out.
But anyway, apologies for not putting it up there, but also looking forward to seeing all of the answers because, nice little trip down memory lane. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. Can money buy happiness? Speaking of video games.
Yes, it can.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 for Christmas.
Oh, my goodness. Aren't those things still like $500, $700? Like, they haven't gone down in price at all, have they?
I don't see how that matters.
It's like arguing with a 2-year-old, you know?
Oh, boy. All right.
Surprised you just don't go, why?
I can.
I'm glad you don't, but I'm just surprised.
Not talking about PlayStation or video games anymore, I promise.
Okay, because I was going to say, if that's what you're getting at, then no, money can't buy happiness. If you're talking about just in general, then yes, money can buy happiness.
All right, so, well, we already know your answer for this.
Yeah.
A new study says money can buy happiness. How much would you put that price at?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Because are we talking about, like, me being, like, just content? Or me being, like, actually happy? Like, just joyous every day. Wake up in the morning just ready to take on the day. Life is good. Because that's going to cost you. That's going to be like $1 million.
I guess so. All right. Well, anyway.
But just to be content, it's not going to cost as much. Because if you have... well, just money security. If you don't have to worry about paying your house payment,
right.
if you own your house and you don't have to worry about that, so you don't have that stress of, hey, I need to make at least $2,000 this month to pay the mortgage, kind of thing,
right.
Like that not having that stress is going to make you happier, plain and simple.
True, and I see the angle that you're going on.
Yeah.
With this. Now the study went in a little bit of a different way, but not. It's sort of a microcosm of what you're talking about,
okay.
Even more long-term situation. So this study says that money can buy happiness, and it only costs $10,000.
Oh, I think it costs more than that.
So $10,000, roughly the cost of maybe a used motorcycle or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't even know. Researchers gave 200 random people a one-time payment of $10,000 and required them to, not unlike Brewster's Millions, spend it within 3 months. Although these folks were allowed to have something to show for it, I'm sure. They recorded how the people felt on a monthly basis. And they found that they reported being happier and more satisfied with their lives than, the control group that didn't get any money.
Right.
So, pretty interesting. It goes on that... okay, you might not be surprised. $10,000 can make you happy for a couple of days, or 3 months, or something.
Yes, if somebody's gonna randomly give me $10,000, absolutely. I take back everything I said. I'm going to be joyous. I'm going to wake up in the morning and go, today's a great day.
I got $10,000 to get through.
That's right.
I did that yesterday.
I feel like it's just... It's a little different, you know?
So,
if you're gonna randomly give me money, then yes, I'm gonna be happy. I'll be joyous for $5.
Okay, cool. Now, not surprising. Yes, people are going to be happy. Hey, here's a free $10,000.
Yeah.
But what may not be surprising is that the good vibes continued in the months after all the money had been spent. They even reported being happier than they were when the experiment first started and they first got the money handed to them.
That actually is really cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah, like bit. That made me happy hearing about it.
I'm wondering if those people, the ones who reported that, maybe bought a new bed.
Maybe. Maybe, because that could do it for you.
You know, because we bought a new bed, and I was pretty damn happy, you know. I kind of still am when I think about it.
But I mean,
I think it's so damn comfortable.
Just spending money makes you happy. You know, that's why it's like true, retail therapy and all that.
That's right.
You know, hey, you're sad? Guess what? Go shopping. You'll feel better.
That's right. So, not everyone in this study was affected. Now, I'm not going to make a guess or anything like that because it'd be a shot in the dark for you. But people with household incomes above $123,000 a year didn't report noticeable improvements in their happiness.
Yeah, because 10 grand don't mean nothing to them.
They've got all the used motorcycles that they can handle.
Yeah.
And people from low-income countries like Brazil, Indonesia, and Kenya gained 3 times more happiness than those in high-income countries, Australia, Canada, the UK, and the United States,
I wonder why.
Yeah, right. They did record what people bought with the money. Unfortunately, we don't have those. That data hasn't been processed enough yet to give us lists and stuff like that. Researchers are still analyzing those results to determine what types of purchases may have led to the most happiness.
Yeah.
So, something to look forward to in the future.
I kind of want to know.
I want to know what they bought. Did you buy boats or, you know, beds and appliances and things to make your life easier? Cut down on the time. Now you have more time to whatever you want. Or, you know.
I would buy the most random things. Buy some clothes, go out to eat at a couple of fancy restaurants, you know, and drop a whole bunch of money there.
Fancy tongs.
Of course you would go to tongs, because I mentioned food. Gotta have the tongs.
I wonder what kind of flight simulator 10 grand could get me.
That's a good question.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that would be pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, money can buy happiness.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Everybody. That's who knew. Thanksgiving's coming up.
That's right. I'm ready. I'm ready for all the delicious food.
Now, have you ever in your lifetime done Thanksgiving at a restaurant?
No.
I can't remember if we talked about that or not.
No. I did work at a party store that sold pizza that was open on Thanksgiving, but our kitchen wasn't, and we'd get so many calls for people trying to order pizza.
Wow.
And had to mention to him, I'm sorry, our kitchen is closed because it is Thanksgiving. What the heck are you doing?
Yeah. So.
You know what I want before my turkey? A full meal of pizza.
Hey, you know.
You know what? Throw in the breadsticks, too. Yeah.
A lot of people eat at like noon, 1 o'clock for Thanksgiving. You can come 6 o'clock. I don't know. You should be eating pie and leftovers.
Yeah.
I have no argument for that.
Nice try, though.
I tried.
Yeah.
You know, I tried. Why not? So a writer for the New York Post claims that Thanksgiving at a restaurant might be the smart money move this year.
Because buying a turkey and all the stuff is too expensive?
Yeah, so they based it on a report from Wells Fargo that found that the price of food at restaurants has only jumped 6% since last November, compared to 10% for groceries and specifically 15% for Thanksgiving food.
Look, here's the big thing, though. If you go to a restaurant and have Thanksgiving dinner, like, you're not going to be comfortable sitting there feeling like, oh, I can't breathe because I ate so much and all that. You want to do that at your own house, you know, where you can go, let me get the sweatpants on because I can't breathe right now. And, hey, I want to go back for seconds even though I really shouldn't. You know, you do that at home. It's not about the cost. I mean, it's not about the cost.
It's a good. I'm sorry. I was thinking about sweatpants and how you know, we've done Thanksgiving just the two of us the last couple of years, and I start the day in the damn things. It is just so nice.
Yeah.
It is just so nice. So I definitely don't want to do the restaurant Thanksgiving. I have.
And also, by the way, if you are going to a restaurant on Thanksgiving, you got to realize the cost of leaving a nice tip because somebody was stuck working and dealing with you because you didn't want to make food at home for whatever reason.
Right. That is also a good point.
Yeah.
So, yes, everything costs more, from turkey and potatoes to flour and butter. But is it really cheaper to do a Thanksgiving at a restaurant this year? Probably not.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you said, there's that comfort factor.
The comfort. I mean, you can't put a price on comfort.
You can't push back in your chairs. I know a lot of places
you can't just belch all crazy and loudly and just be like, oh, man, that was good. You can't be a pig.
That's right.
You know, and come on, that's what we do on Thanksgiving. We're pigs. Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to have 4 slices of pie.
Now, I don't remember that well, the one that I did at a restaurant, but I know it was just, you know, the comfort wasn't there because of that. I think they probably box up some leftovers, but it's not like I'm going to wander into the kitchen way too full and still not stop eating. You know, and that's some of the best parts about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that and then, the guilt for the week after going, why did I eat so much food? You can't have that if you go to a restaurant, It's a tradition.
Yeah. So basically doing the math.
Guilt.
Doing the math, the answer is no. Pretty much every scenario you can come up with, it is more expensive to eat out in a restaurant. You're never going to beat the value of Thanksgiving cooked at home, where, like we said, all the labor is free. You don't have to leave a tip.
And then you get to keep all the leftovers.
Especially once you factor in the leftovers, yeah.
You buy a 20-pound turkey. You're not going to eat it all in one sitting, even though you're going to try. You got leftovers for like a week. You're set.
They do say that for, like, if you're in a really small group, which is no more than 4 people, and you really, really don't want to do the work, then, probably could make some sense. But still, you're factoring in the labor, basically. Yeah. So it's not cheaper. Anyway, the more people, the more sense it makes to cook at home. In other words, it might make sense if you want to save yourself time and the hassle. But definitely not cheaper.
No. And again, you can't put a price on comfort, so there. That's my argument.
Coming up later, hopefully next episode, we'll have some stats that the Farm Bureau puts out every year about their annual Thanksgiving dinner prices and things like that.
Ah, that's right.
So I like those lists, and so guess what? You get to hear them.
That's right.
Because I like them. Continuing with the Thanksgiving theme, there's a list here that claims, I love how it's written, 11 movies to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
There's 11 of them?
These are the, it was a sarcastic, These are the things that I have to do to get ready for this show, is read through goofy things like this. I absolutely love it. This list is ridiculous. I want to know if you think there's any movies on here and the excuses they gave to put them on the list. If any of them make sense. Are these actual Thanksgiving movies or movies to get you ready for Thanksgiving?
All right, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to start with Addams Family Values. The second one.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. So no.
Their excuse for
shot in the dark.
Okay, I guess we got to add the old Addams Family movies to the list.
Yeah. Yep.
Coming up in a couple of minutes on this episode that you're listening to right now, Naomi's going to review the movie Big.
Yeah, I finally watched that one.
So, Addams Family Values, they say Wednesday Addams gives a speech about the injustices done to Native Americans during her camp's reenactment of the first Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Do you think that's enough to make it a Thanksgiving preparation movie?
No.
Me either. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Aren't they traveling for Thanksgiving dinner,
Steve Martin's character is trying to make it home for Thanksgiving. That is, by a lot of accounts, a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. I like that. Miracle on 34th Street.
No. That's a Christmas movie.
Their argument is it opens with the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, because it opened there. Oh, okay. Yeah, then it's definitely a Thanksgiving movie. That's a bunch of crap. That's a terrible excuse.
Yeah, you say turkey in a movie, all of a sudden it's a Thanksgiving movie, according to these folks.
There was a turkey on the side of the road. That makes it a Thanksgiving movie. Yep. Perfect.
The Ice Storm from 1997. I don't even know this movie myself. Not that, whatever. Anyway, it includes a scene with a Thanksgiving dinner with a not-so-nice speech at the dinner. So... that
it includes a scene of that, one scene in the entire movie.
Yeah,
I don't think that you can call that a Thanksgiving movie or one that prepares you for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I mean, it's got Thanksgiving in the title, so they didn't really.
No, that's a Christmas one. Yeah.
They didn't necessarily go out on a limb. That's what I was trying to come up with. Let's see what we got. Spider-Man. The original movie from 2002 also includes a Thanksgiving dinner.
Just because it includes a Thanksgiving dinner does not make it a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
Who came up with this
list? I don't know.
It's
kind of funny. You've Got Mail from 1998 does take place during Thanksgiving, I guess. So I don't know that movie, y'all.
Me
I've
either.
Never been the big rom-com guy, so not up to speed.
Is that one that we put on your list?
Hell to the no.
No, you don't want to watch that?
I guess, but do y'all really... I guess we could do that. Naomi reviews movies she's never seen. I review old rom-coms and stuff like The Notebook.
Yeah.
But, I mean, do you really want to hear me making fun of The Notebook?
Kind of.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
The Humans from 2021 also takes place on Thanksgiving.
I don't know anything about that.
Of course not. I don't either, because it's a newer movie. I'm sorry. I just left I got to explain that very sarcastic answer. Of course not, because we haven't watched anything new in like 2 years, 3 years.
At least.
At least. Unless it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Home for the Holidays from 1995. It's another dysfunctional family sharing a Thanksgiving dinner. So that's...
Isn't that like a Disney movie?
Possibly. It's escaping me too. 1995, Home for the Holidays. So whatever. If they're sharing a Thanksgiving dinner, that's what it's about. All right, Thanksgiving movie. The Gold Rush from 1925. They had to go back to 1925. Yeah. Charlie Chaplin prepares a Thanksgiving dinner. So, yeah.
During the whole movie?
I'm definitely breaking that DVD out.
Yeah.
Pulling that one up on the Netflix during Thanksgiving dinner. That's great. And then Scent of a Woman, 1992. That's one you got to watch.
I have not seen it.
I believe we started to watch it, or we're going to, and then got sidetracked or whatever. That one, Chris O'Donnell plays a college student, and he's on Thanksgiving break throughout the movie. They have Thanksgiving dinner, so I like it. I like the movie, so I'm going to kind of advocate for it, but
here's the thing. If it's a Thanksgiving movie...
There is a dinner and a meal in the movie as well.
But that doesn't make it a Thanksgiving movie. Like, Thanksgiving needs to be the theme of the movie if you're going to say it's a Thanksgiving movie.
All right.
You can't just say, well, it took place during that time period. Okay. That doesn't count.
So let's say Home for the Holidays, You've Got Mail, A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Sure.
What's that?
Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
4 out of a possible 11.
All right.
So not so good.
Yeah.
Not so good on the list.
Failed.
A fail. A couple episodes back, we talked about the Toy Hall of Fame.
We did. Ripped it to pieces.
It's always a lot of fun because, they throw weird things in there, like the stick.
Yeah.
I understand that poor people had to play with sticks, but it's not really
It's not a toy. I'm not going
to
to go to the store and buy a stick.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we have the 3 finalists.
Oh, there's only 3. Okay.
And we got 2 that are okay, I'm with it, and 1 that's...
Stupid?
Well, it should have been in there years ago, and anyway.
All right.
Let's see here. The 9 other finalists didn't get enough votes from toy industry experts, historians, and the general public. That's who votes on this thing to make it into the Hall of Fame this year. Those runner-ups are Bingo, which I wouldn't,
I would assume is already there, but okay.
I always associate bingo with retirement homes and church picnics and stuff like
I remember playing bingo in school where you learn your multiplication and rhyming words and all that.
Maybe I'd like math if they taught me it with bingo. I don't know.
Bingo's always fun.
Okay.
Here, win something for, matching a line.
That's right. Bingo, Breyer horses. The plastic horses that have no movable joints or parts or anything like that. The board game Catan, or Settlers of Catan.
Okay.
No. Nerf toys, which should have gotten many, many more votes.
Again, should have been in there a long time ago.
The Piñata. I never looked at that as a toy, but it is definitely a candy delivery system. So it's close enough to a toy for me. Candy and toys. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
The Piñata, that could have gone in. The card game Phase 10.
Yeah.
You could see that being put off for a few years.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a second balloter. Pound Puppies.
Aw.
Yeah. Racco, which I believe was the tic-tac-toss type game, right?
I don't remember. We looked this up last time, and it was like, and I got all excited because I remember having that game at home, but pretty sure I never played it or played it right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Racco, anyway.
I remember those cards.
And the Spirograph.
Yeah, that one should have been in before.
Oh, Racco was not tic-tac-toe. Now you said the cards. Now I remember Racco a little bit more. Okay, my bad. And what did I say? The Spirograph was the final one. Spirograph.
I thought it would already be in there.
It was fun, but Toy Hall of Fame finalists?
I don't know. It's the Toy Hall of Fame. I feel like there's 9 million toys in there already, And like, I feel like just everything almost everything belongs. No, this was a toy that, a million kids liked. So it should be in there already.
So that brings us conveniently to the number 3. The top 3 that got inducted. Number 3, the top.
Yeah, like that one. Again, should have been in there years ago.
The ancient, toy that you spin.
Yeah, I feel like nobody cares about that anymore, though.
Right.
Like, this should have been in there in 1950.
Yeah. They should go by popularity by decade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're playing with tops in the 50s, right? They can't imagine they had much more than that.
In the 50s? That's insulting.
I kid because I love. The next one to go in, Masters of the Universe. He-Man toys.
That beat out Pound Puppies? Like...
Hell yeah, beat out Pound Puppies.
No.
Yeah, Man of Arms, or Man of Arms, or I can't remember. Sorry, guys.
See?
You got He-Man
You are
himself,
proving my point right now.
You got all those. Those toys were great. Those were like the G.I. Joe toys that, they were all bendable and stuff. There was weaponry.
Yeah, but
vehicles and
Pound Puppies.
Castle Grayskull playset. Oh my goodness, Master of the Universe all day.
All right, what's the last one?
Number 1 toy inducted in the Hall of Fame this year, the Light Bright.
Yeah, that should have been in there a long time ago. I'm surprised that wasn't in there.
The Light Bright.
Yeah.
I had minutes of fun with that thing.
Yeah.
Minutes.
That's good for a child. We get distracted fast.
It was good. I love the Light Bright. I had a lot of fun with that. And thankfully, my old man was really cool about it. He always had like an old school Cool Whip bowl that I put all the pegs in and stuff, so I didn't lose them. They weren't scattered all over the house.
Smart, yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool. He always took care of me with stuff like that. So there you go. Toy Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Top, He-Man, and Light Bright.
There you go. Speaking of toys and children, boy, I didn't even do that on purpose. This is fantastic. Over the weekend, this is a feature I think we're going to start doing more and more regularly.
Yeah.
Naomi, if you don't know...
lives under a rock.
Her own words. Lives under a rock. So there's a ton of movies that I've mentioned, we've talked about. If you ever listened to Luke and Naomi in the morning back in the day...
I mean, we did a show talking about movies, and I was almost silent the entire show because I was like, I don't know what everybody's talking about.
Let's go to commercial.
I was completely lost. There's a million iconic movies that I have never seen. I was not a big movie watcher growing up, and the movies that I liked, I just watched over and over and over again. Right. I was that kid.
A lot of people do that, and that's fine. And also, depends on who you are around as you're growing up and how you're watching all this stuff. Anyway, so long story short, she has never seen the movie Big.
So finally watched it.
Tom Hanks and all of that stuff. So we're going to kind of take you through Naomi's first ever viewing of the movie Big.
I'm going to start off, first of all, saying that I liked this movie more than I expected. All After Hocus Pocus was such a letdown, I was like, this is going to be like the same thing. Like, this is a movie that you like when you're... 12, 13, whatever. And then as you're older, you're like, this is stupid. So I went in thinking that was going to be the case. But after watching it, I was like, okay, that was actually better than I thought. Definitely an 80s movie still.
Oh, right.
Between the clothes, which the just bright patterns and just... Man, what were you guys doing in the 80s?
1988 is when Big was released. So
yeah, but I mean, whew. Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
some of those outfits.
Lots of they just started putting graphic designs onto clothing at that point.
That and just like, hey, I'm gonna have a bright square of orange, a bright square of green. Let's put some purple here and
circle
red.
Of blue and stuff like
Why
that.
not? And the music. Oh my goodness! Every once in a while, like I felt like the music didn't fit. Where it was getting almost like. What's the word I'm looking for?
Lighthearted.
Yeah, lighthearted and like exciting, like something big and wonderful and heartfelt is about to happen, but not really. That part was probably the weirdest. Well, not the weirdest part of the movie, but it was just 80s. The 80s were alive and well.
So how about, the vehicles, the crime in New York City? Not that you've been to Manhattan or anything like that, but a couple of things that are completely different nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't... So, like... There's like that scene where like there's somebody shooting outside, you know, when he's in the apartment or hotel, whatever, that the hotel that he like rents out or whatever.
Yeah, the hotel he goes to, St. James Hotel.
Yeah, he's all scared.
St. James. It's religious.
Yeah, that's right. He'll be fine. He'll be safe. So that was a little intense, and like trying to remember that, hey, this is like a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, like that would be beyond scary. But yeah, like I don't know. I think the whole idea, how they the whole storyline of it, I thought was well done. Like, hey, it's this fortune teller thing, you know, and it's broken.
Yeah.
You know, he's hitting it on the side. It doesn't even work. And, you know, he gets it to work and he wishes to be big because, you know, that's what a 12-year-old boy would wish, to try to impress some girl.
It gets kicked off the ride because he's too small to be on there, so he wants to be bigger.
So, of course, you would make that wish. It makes, you know, it makes sense.
And what does a 12-year-old know about specificity? You know what I mean? He's not I just want to be 6 inches taller.
Well, I mean, and it's not just a 12-year-old. If you've seen the movie Bedazzled, you know that whole thing where Brendan Fraser keeps making all those wishes and the devil keeps ruining it from him. Yes. You know, and even if he gets oddly specific, it still gets ruined.
It is a classic case of be careful what you wish for, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes. So yeah, that part is really well done, and I love the fact that the machine wasn't even plugged in. Like when they showed that, I was like, that was a really nice touch.
You like that?
Yes, I did.
A little kind of, it's almost a spooky moment too, you know, with because the Zoltar is weird looking and the eyes are red.
And that's where they did well with like setting the scene. Like the music was kind of creepy, old carnival. Yes, it's a fall day. It's dark. It's windy. Like. They did a really good job of that.
Sidebar quick, as they're showing the old carnival, you see he walks past a row of literal old school video games, the arcade cabinets that they brought out for the arcade and put under tents and stuff like that. They're all plugged in and stuff. That was just really neat because it's like, wow, you know, times have changed.
Yeah, absolutely. Another part that I really liked, the piano scene.
Oh yeah, FAO Schwartz, the giant piano where they.
So I have seen that parodied. It doesn't sound right. Parodied.
You've seen homages to that.
Yes, that word. So many times. I've seen like the still shot of it. So as it was coming up, I was like, okay, like here we go, and like I thought it was actually kind of cute. I feel like the movie. Like, it pulled off a lot of things. I went into this thinking, like, again, this is going to be really hokey,
cheesy
this 80s movie, and all this kind of stuff. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, it does have its moments. And I don't even want to get into the idea or the fact that, like, you know, this grown woman is ending up kissing this 12-year-old boy, and he, like, is, you know... Yeah. Touching her and all that kind of stuff. And then she finds out later that, like, he is legit a kid. Like, she sees him transform into a kid at the end of the movie and is just not, like, completely grossed out.
Just drives home.
Yeah. Like, aren't you just screaming, like, oh, my gosh, what did I just do?
Well, that happened.
What just happened? And also, magic just happened in front of your face. But I get it. It's a movie, and that's, you know, you're going to have those... little holes and everything.
I mean, you know, if you were to kind of gather what she's like at the beginning of the movie, she wasn't necessarily the most morally upstanding.
That is true.
That's how they try to paint the character anyway, as like, you know, however you want to call it. There.
But that doesn't make you.
Yeah, no, it does not. And you know, and in the through the lens of 2022, it is that those scenes are very interesting.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I loved his apartment.
Oh, yes. Oh, good. You're hitting all the beats that people like the movie, which is great.
So let me back up a little bit. I really liked how he got the job, you know, like, because first of all, like when he's trying to fill out his social security number and they put like the locker combination and the guy asks something and is like, you're missing numbers.
On 12.
12. You know, and it's just so stupid. And he goes, oh, okay, and just fills it in. But, like, something like that would happen if you think about it, because as a 12-year-old, did you know your social security number? Did you know how many numbers were supposed to be in your social security number?
Right. Probably
no.
Not. Yeah.
So, of course, they made up some random number, and it doesn't make sense. And, it just...
The whole school situation, he's like, what school did you go to? Oh, it was called George Washington. Oh, GW.
Yes.
My brother-in-law got his doctorate there or some junk like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then him moving up in the company because, being at the right place at the right time and, loving...
The anarchy scene and all that.
And loving toys and all that kind of stuff. Like, I do like the way they did that. Because, it's a little hokey, and of course it's far-fetched, but it's a movie, so it actually wasn't that bad.
I do love
it. Was cute.
When they're walking through, he's with the boss, and the boss is asking him, what do you think about this? And he's talking about the hockey set, and he's like, well, the pieces used to move. They don't do that. I remember being a kid when they would change things like that for no apparent reason, and be like, and having the thoughts where it was like, oh, it was much better the old way, or I wish it did this and stuff. So,
and all he is doing is like talking to this guy, the owner.
That's right.
No
pressures there because he don't know anything of pressure.
Yeah, and he's just being a kid, and all of a sudden now he's rich and vice president of the company or whatever they did, and now he has an apartment with 50-foot ceilings.
50-foot ceilings. That's
First of all, why do you need that? But then he gets a trampoline, so it makes sense why you need that. And also made me want a trampoline in my house. Like, that was really well done. That is cool.
I just want 50-foot ceilings. I was really lucky as a kid. We had really tall ceilings, so there was a lot of games being played in the house all the time. But
imagine if you could have a trampoline in there and not have to worry about it.
The skateboarding through the house, RC cars and stuff. That would have been a ball.
Yeah. Love it, too. Like... when that girl comes back to his apartment and it's just a bunch of toys and stuff, because that's how it would be.
Oh, yeah.
He is a kid. He's got a bunk bed in there. Like, that was great.
How about when he first gets his paycheck, $187?
And he's freaking out about it.
Mad, he's all excited.
Yeah.
And then they go out and blow it on junk food.
Oh, yeah. Oh. And silly string. And speaking of the junk food, one of the things that I noticed that I thought they did so well is every time the kid, well, even as he's an adult, as he's a bigger guy, as he's eating, he still ate like a kid. Like, the one point he's got the cherry in his mouth and he like flings it out of his mouth and it's so gross. But then like they show him later like eating pizza and he's got like spit on like under his lip. And I'm just like, oh, like that's what kids do,
Yep.
And then like... when he eats whatever that stuff he eats that he doesn't like.
The caviar at the company party.
And he's making the noises and spitting it on the floor, and then he gets a napkin to like wipe it off of his tongue. Like, that was really well done because that is what a kid would do, So yeah, overall, I like the movie more than I thought I would. Still a little hokey because it is an 80s movie and it is, more of a kids movie and all that kind of stuff. But I would watch it again.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Not something that's going to go like into rotation or anything like that, but it was cute. Like if I saw it on TV, I'd be like, okay, I can leave this on,
Good. I like that. That's a good way, because I was going to say, now we need to come up with some sort of a review system.
A rating?
Do we go stars or thumbs or, those have all been done, of course. Do we go...
It's got to do with something about where it is in the rotation.
Yeah. So you would watch it again, which is definitely a plus. Would you add it to the rotation?
No.
I guess would be a thing. Would you stop if it's on TV?
I guess I would stop if it's on TV, but I might look for something better.
And would you tell somebody who's never seen it that they should watch it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Okay. You should watch it. I would say that about Hocus Pocus, too. You should, just because everybody's crazy about it. But let me know that you think it's terrible, too. With Big, I'd be like, hey, watch it, too, and just see how you feel.
All right. Let's see if we can remember those parameters next week.
Yeah, that's too many.
I'm going to we have this recorded anywhere or anything.
I'm going to, narrow it down to, one thing. This is going to be how it works.
I think we'll leave that open to debate, honestly, because I like asking you those questions at the end.
Okay, yeah,
honestly.
that's fine, but then you have to ask them so I can, like,
you know, I'm pretty sure, again, that we have this recorded somewhere.
I know, because we're sitting here trying to figure it out on the spot.
No, you know what I'm saying? Brando, write these down when you're listening for me and message them to me, because
that's right.
That would help out a lot.
Yeah.
Brandon's our de facto, hey, you forgot to do this guy.
Yeah, well, at least someone's keeping us, like, on track here. Because otherwise, we're everywhere.
All right, so that is Naomi's review of Tom Hanks in Big, directed by Penny Marshall, released in 1988, starring a bunch of other people. I can't remember all their names, and Robert Loggia as the boss.
That's right.
As Mr. Macmillan.
Yep.
Ton of fun, right?
Yeah. Now I'm just, like, thinking in my head, like, what's the next movie that I'm going to watch? But, again, we have a laundry list of movies that I have not seen.
Very big list, and we will always, take suggestions. We'll write them down. Brian did.
Absolutely.
I will reveal this from Brian though. He said you should watch Dr. Sleep Now, which is a sequel to The Shining. I believe it's about Danny growing up.
Okay.
It's actually a book too, so obviously, but that is a more.
I've never even heard of it.
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi is Ewan McGregor. And so then he says also Working Girl from back in the day. Yep, I know. There's a connection to Bob's Burgers there.
Yeah, that is the only thing I know about Working Girl is they somehow turned it into some musical during Bob's Burgers.
They combined it with Die Hard and called it Work Hard or Die Trying Girl.
Yes.
So if you don't know Bob's Burgers, that's an excellent episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, way off on a tangent there. So we will.
But that's all I know about it.
We will take recommendations on older movies that Naomi, if Naomi hasn't seen them, chances are she hasn't, because that's just how it is with her in the older movies.
Yeah, so 9 times out of 10, I haven't seen it.
Also, what was your favorite arcade game back in the day? Your favorite one when you go into the actual arcade? Bonus points for what the name of your arcade was. Shout out to Pop's Arcade in Ilion, New York. That's where my dad took me for Spy Hunter and just everything else. That was amazing.
No, that wasn't around when I moved to New York, was it?
You know where the Chinese restaurant is?
Main Moon?
That was Pop's Arcade. I think it's actually like 2 doors down from there or whatever. They ended up buying like the whole area.
All right, so
yeah, that was right
short
there.
answer, no.
that wasn't there. That was where Main Moon Chinese restaurant is in Ilion. No. Right. So Pop's Arcade is where I would go all the time. Spy Hunter was one of my favorites. We'll have a couple of more between Naomi and myself.
That's right.
For next week.
And yours as well.
And yours because
Luke is lazy and forgot to post it.
Yes.
Lazy Luke.
Yes, I'm the only one who does anything on Luke and Naomi on air. Naomi doesn't even have rights on the Facebook page. She doesn't even have a Facebook account to log in or anything like that. All completely on me.
That is true.
I mean, it is. So let us know what your favorite arcade game was back in the day. Bonus points for the arcade name. Bonus points if you went to several.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely love it. And, of course, you can make those movie suggestions, but so we're probably going to stick with Naomi reviews going forward because I really, really am enjoying this.
I do, and I like watching them, and it kind of gives me an excuse, like, hey, I have to do this, to watch movies that are classic, iconic movies that everybody knows. It's about time that I sat down and watched some of these.
And now, I'm really also enjoying watching you watch some of these scenes, these things that have been, parodied over and over and over again. You've seen the piano key scene. You've seen Here's Johnny from The Shining, a ton of times. And then watching you actually see the scenes.
I go, oh.
That's pretty cool.
That's what this is.
So stay tuned for episode 26. We'll have a new movie and and a new question.
That's right. It's time for your thought of the day.
All right. Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day.
Since I was able to talk Luke into letting me start decorating for Christmas this weekend, I thought a Christmas thought of the day would be...
No tree yet, just decorations.
Not yet, but some decorations, yeah. I thought a Christmas thought of the day would be very fitting. So... Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Ugly Christmas sweaters were only interesting when they weren't intentionally ugly. Ugly Christmas sweater parties essentially killed ugly Christmas sweater parties.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's kind of a bummer.
A little bit.
Yeah.
There's one that I want to order for this year, but I don't think I can get it here fast enough because it's going to take like 6 months.
Not only that, but it's an intentional ugly sweater.
Also that.
You know, you gotta
that.
go to the thrift store and find like a real ugly sweater that was not meant to be ugly.
That hurts to wear because it's so itchy and gross.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be around you. All right, Luke,
Smells like a basement.
Luke, are you gonna leave us with a laugh?
I am gonna do my best.
All right, what do you got?
My father was a conjoined twin, so his brother was my uncle on my father's side.
You don't need to do the motion. I get what you mean by on your father's side. It's not that funny. Oh my gosh.
All right, 2 more.
Oh, all right.
What does the lawyer name his daughter?
I don't know.
Sue.
Oh, that's stupid. Boo.
What color is the wind?
I don't know.
Blue.
Oh my gosh.
Her head's on the desk. Thank you, Brian, for the book of dad jokes. We're milking them to the very end. I absolutely love it.
Oh my gosh.
Very, very cool. Oh man, what was your favorite arcade game back in the day? Let us know on the Facebook page. I will put that stupid thing up by the time you finish listening to this podcast. Thank you all so much for spending the time with us again in another week.
We appreciate it.
25 times now.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate it. Tell your friends. We're getting better.
We're trying.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Luke and Naomi on air on Facebook too. That's it. We'll talk to you next week. Oh yeah, that's right. I got something else to say. I told you, if I write it down and put the paper in the correct spot, I remember what to say. Have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.